Yuki Kawamura is a 5'8" point guard who's been coming off the bench for the Chicago Bulls. And despite averaging under 5 points per game, Yuki is still finding ways to have a legit impact on both sides of the ball. Now with the ball in his hands, I think Yuki does his best work as a passer. In pick and roll, he's great at quickly turning the corner and forcing the big to slide over, opening up these routine pocket passes. And what I love about this part of his game is that Yuki has countless of ways to find the roller. He can hit your standard bounce pass, laser these one-hand darts past multiple defenders, or he can nutmeg the big and drop, perfectly leading the roller to the rim. And then if the defense steps up and plays him more aggressively, Yuki can still find ways to hit the roller by jumping and needling the ball through these tight gaps, or catching and snapping these hook passes over the defense. And while many of these passes don't lead to a direct shot, it still puts the defense in a scramble and leads a good offense, which is all you can really ask for out of any pick and roll action. Now with the ball in his hands, Yuki also has the ball control and speed to break down the defense and put real pressure on the rim. And while the defense collapses, he's got a good feel of finding his teammates on the perimeter or snapping these tight dimes in the paint. And then I would argue that Yuki actually does his best work as a playmaker in the open court, where first he has a good feel of kicking the ball ahead and creating early breakdowns. And these reads may seem pretty simple on paper, but these quick advancements are actually really difficult to defend. With the ball in his hands, Yuki can also push the ball himself and make quick reads in the open floor. Watch him here turn on the jets and pull 3 defenders down towards the paint, to then spray it out, which opens up the spot up 3. And pushing the ball by itself often leads to easy breakdowns even if the defense is set. We'll see him again here pushing the ball once he crosses half court, but as he pulls the ball out, one of his teammates on the wing is going to spring free for a backdoor cut. Now because Yuki is a very aggressive player off the dribble, who commonly needles tough passes in traffic, he also racks up plenty of turnovers throughout the game. And this is really the price he has to play with his playstyle. It would be nice to see him cut down on these giveaways, but turnovers do come with the territory of playing aggressive and looking to make tough deliveries. But with the ball, I would like to see Yuki get better at reading the entire court. There's many times where he gets super honed in on forcing passes to the screener, as opposed to reading the help side 1 or 2 passes away. Now with the ball in his hands, Yuki is also a real scoring threat. If he turns the corner out of pick and roll, he's comfortable using his body to initiate contact and create scoring windows. Plus he has good pickups and strides when playing downhill. We'll see him here initially hesitate off his screen, to then take one hard pound dribble and lower his shoulders, selling the drive to his right, and he's going to sweep the ball back across to his left to draw the foul. Now obviously around the basket, Yuki's height does play a limiting factor. Because he doesn't get much lift off the floor, he often has to quickly pick up and rush shots up off the glass, or he just straight up can't get a finish off after slicing into the paint. And this is just something he's going to have to work around going forward. I would like to see him get into more floaters, or stop and find windows to rise up for in-between jumpers. I love this shot here, where Yuki again turns the corner off the screen, but instead of attacking all the way into the deep paint, he instead separates out lateral and gets into a nice pull-up jumper. When extending out even further and looking at Yuki scoring from behind the line, he has no problem rising up and knocking down open looks. If the defense sags off or plays any type of soft coverage out of pick and roll, he can pretty consistently organize his feet and punish the defense from range. He may not have a deep bag of step backs or separation moves, but him just being able to knock down the open looks that come to him is all he really needs, because that in return will force the man guarding the ball to step up and pressure him, which then makes it easier for Yuki to turn the corner and unleash all that playmaking and rim pressure. So offensively, I don't think Kawamura has the talent or build to be a 20+ scorer on a night-to-night basis, but he can still provide a ton of value with his pace and facilitating. He's great at creating advantages out of pick and roll. He's an effective decision maker in the open court. Plus he has the ability to pick his spots and find scoring opportunities in the flow of the game. Now on the other side of the ball, this is where I think Yuki low-key has his biggest overall impact. At the point of attack, his speed and low center of gravity makes him a constant nuisance on the ball, being able to pressure, contain, to then force turnovers or completely take the offense out of the rhythm. We'll see him again here picking up the ball full court. And then after this player gives it up and tries to sprint back for a handoff, Yuki is going to stay on his hip to both blow up this handoff and the ball screen.
Zealous was 36% from deep as a rookie. Look at the pressure from Yuki.
And like we saw throughout the finals and playoffs, the best defenses love to pick up full court and hound the ball. And this by itself can take even the best offenses out of their flow, while also wearing down the opposing team's ball handlers. While Yuki may not have the build of other elite backcourt defenders like Andrew Nembhard or Alex Caruso, I do think he has the right mentality. And sometimes that's enough by itself to make plays for short spurts. Now when defending the ball in the half court, Yuki is also elite at navigating screens, having the strength to wedge himself between the ball and the screener, plus the speed to scramble around and snag steals from behind. And this is where I think him being smaller actually plays to his advantage, because him playing lower to the ground makes it tougher for the screener to get clean contact on him. When defending the ball in open space, Yuki also has really good strength and body control, where he can move his feet and keep himself squared up to then absorb contact and hold his ground. And a lot of this comes back to Yuki's low center of gravity. Once he gets his feet set, it's really hard to move him off his spot. He's matched up with the bigger wing below the arc here, and watch him move his feet, absorb his contact, to then hold his ground and snag the ball. Now on this play, he's extending out and pressuring the ball just below the logo. Typically, if you're out pressuring the ball like this, you're vulnerable to getting blown by off the dribble. But Yuki again has the mobility to stay in front, to then again eat that contact and allow the help defense to swarm the ball. And Yuki's balance plays an even bigger factor when he's defending more shifty players off the dribble. If the man he's guarding stops, starts, or looks to change direction, that foot speed and balance still allows Yuki to stay in front and funnel the offense into difficult off the dribble jumpers. The offense on this play is going to try to create space by ripping to his left to then separate behind the line for a step back. But Yuki is both able to slide and stay in front to then get a hand up on the shot. This play here is crazy, where Devin Carter here initially creates a ton of space by attacking to his right and snatching the ball back through. But even after Yuki gets caught stumbling forward, he still has the control to organize himself and extend up to contest. So again, despite his size, I think Kawamura actually plays a lot bigger than what he actually is. He can hold his own very well against bigger wings or guards, and even if he gets put in a bad spot, he's always going to give you insane effort. There's obviously times where he gets bulldozed to the basket, or somebody can establish early position against him in the paint, but outside of that, I think Yuki at the point of attack is really impactful. He can pressure the ball full court, navigate screens, and take on a variety of matchups. And then on top of that, he also has really good awareness off the ball, being able to stunt down and help, to then scramble back out to his man on the perimeter. Or he can use that strength and foot speed to plug up defensive breakdowns. The Bulls here initially have a brief miscommunication on this ghost screen, but even with the ball handler having a pretty clear angle, Yuki still has the foot speed to rotate across and draw the offensive foul. I also like this play here, where he first scrambles out and runs the shooter off the line, then he's able to scramble back down and get the steal from behind. So when looking at the value Kawamura brings on both sides of the ball, I don't see any reason why he can't be a backup point guard for any NBA team. Obviously he's limited as an on-ball creator, but I still think the playmaking out of pick and roll and decent outside shooting can provide at least some value to any NBA offense. And defensively, I think he checks all the boxes as a point of attack defender. And like the film showed, despite his size, he can actually play much bigger than what he actually is. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments who the kids should break down next. The kids here.